Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in again for the Ukraine war, the lesser known news for Friday, June 27th, 2025. I like this format that I'm using with showing just the pictures and the videos instead of the live shots of me. I just think it's more. I just think it's better for this channel, so I think I'm going to keep it that way for now. I know I still need a better sound system, but or a better microphone, but that'll be taken care of in the future. But for now, before we get started, the picture you're looking at is another beautiful picture of a beautiful downtown Lviv in Ukraine when I was there 2 years ago. But anyway, let's get started. So the first story I want to talk about today comes from a press release from the Security Service of Ukraine. And in the press release, it discusses a dating scam that a Russian collaborator was using to try to lure a Ukrainian soldier so that he could kill him. He wanted to blow him up with an explosive. And the soldier who was targeted was a member of Ukraine's National Guard, and the collaborator was a 19-year-old young Ukrainian man. He used a dating app and posed as a woman to try to entice the soldier to meet him or her in the backyard of a home he was renting in Kyiv for a date. And so an explosive hidden in a scooter that was driven to the location by the collaborator. He was going to use the explosive to try to kill the soldier, and it did explode, but it didn't kill the soldier. The soldier survived. I don't even know if he was really directly affected by it. So after that failed, the collaborator's Russian handlers who were giving him instructions, they tasked him with carrying out terrorist attacks in the Chernihiv region, and he actually managed to set fire to a Ukrainian military vehicle there during one of his assignments before he was arrested by SSU agents who had learned about his criminal activities. And after he was arrested, he was served a notice of suspicion for committing a terrorist act, and he faces up to 12 years in prison with confiscation of property if convicted. So the next story I will talk about this comes to us from the Ukrainian publication, the Kyiv Independent, and it discusses how more than 20,000 Russians have been prosecuted in Russian courts for refusing to fight in the war. And this is the time period from September 2022 until now. And they got their information, the Kyiv Independent got this information from a report published by the Spanish publication Media Zona, and which showed that 2,538 cases of prosecutions against Russians who refused to fight have been documented during this time period. 18,159 of these cases have been filed against soldiers who went absent without leave or who had gone AWOL. Russians who failed to comply with an order made up 1,369 of these cases, while another 1,010 cases were brought against soldiers who deserted their positions. And the report also stated that the Russian military often uses gulag-style punishments, so reminiscent of the old Soviet days, how they used to treat their prisoners sent to gulags. But they use these gulag-style punishments to try to maintain order and compel soldiers to comply while they are stationed and fighting in Ukraine. Now, moving on to the next story. This is a kind of a Russian propaganda story, but this comes from the Ministry of Defense of Russia. They posted a video showing an awards ceremony that honors some of the Russian fighters, or Russian invaders, let's just call them what they are, of the 90th Guards Tank Unit Division of the Center Regiment, which is stationed right now, and these soldiers are stationed right now in a war zone in Ukraine. And the awards were handed out to select members of this regiment by the commander of the unit, Lieutenant Colonel Asilbev Utapov, and Also, the event included included musical performances by a Russian pop singer. I can't remember her name. I remember seeing her before, but she's someone who's traveled to war zones in Ukraine to perform for the soldiers there, the Russian soldiers there. And also the song and dance ensemble of the Central Military District also put on music performances for the soldiers during during this ceremony. So I'm going to show you a video of a little bit of the video of this ceremony just to show what they were doing. So I'll start that. All right, that's enough of that clown show. Let's move on to the next story. So, this is kind of a this includes another video, and this is kind of a gory one. So if you're kind of squeamish about it, you might want to close your eyes. It's only about a minute long, this video I'm going to post, but it comes from Ukraine's Sharp Kartuzzi military drone operators, their unit. They posted the video on their Telegram channel showing a wounded Russian soldier begging for mercy as he surrenders after he is injured by an explosive that was dropped on him known as a foot crusher. It sounds about as awful as this soldier shows in the video. I mean, it looks like it causes absolute agony for anyone who encounters one of these. But after the explosive is dropped on him, he is seen rolling, and it's actually dropped next to him. He doesn't actually take a direct hit, but he does become really injured from this explosive, and you can see him covered in blood as he's rolling on the ground. And the drone cam that's above him, there's a drone above him with a camera that shows him signaling that he has had enough of the fighting. He wants to surrender. And this is what part of the video's description explains. This is what it states. So it says, "A foot crusher is the best diplomat in the field of negotiations and agreements with the aggressor. Just one injection of this wonderful potion and the occupier no longer wants someone's land, does not want to rob and rape. He no longer needs a large salary and loot called trophies." So I'll just show you this video really quickly, and so here it is. А це хибує більшість, вірність бракує цінність. Oh, up to you, oh, up to you. Смарагдове небо чекає на завтра. Я йду до тебе, я йду назад. Смарагдове небо загадуй бажання. Я йду до тебе, я йду назад. Смарагдове небо. Немає більше місця в моєму злому серці, давно уже війна. Давай забудем дим, пробудем всі проблеми. Мені пора на все сказати ці слова. All right, so that's that. And the video's description did not say anything about the soldier's current condition. I'm assuming he was taken captive. Ukraine, they're known to treat their prisoners of war pretty humanely, despite what Russian propagandists say. So he probably was given medical treatment and is currently in Ukrainian custody. So the last story I'll talk about today is this young woman who's a teenager. She is only 18 years old, and it's a video posted. She explains in a video posted. It's a Facebook video from Ukraine's 127th Territorial Defense Brigade. And the young woman's name, they just gave her first name, is Katerina. And she volunteered to join the Ukrainian military under the Contract 18 to 24 program, which is a program that was started earlier this year to try to encourage young people to sign up voluntarily for a military service. Even ones who had not even been drafted, they try to, and they offer sign up bonuses to try to encourage young people to voluntarily join the Ukrainian military. But anyway, Katerina is originally from the Chuhiv district of the Kharkiv region. And before joining the military, she volunteered to collect donations for the Ukrainian military to help them in their fight against the Russian invasion. And she currently works as a signal operator in her unit and recognizes how good communication can help save the lives of soldiers. And as she put it in her words, the reason why she wanted to join the military, she says, "I want to contribute to victory." So that's pretty self-explanatory. So anyway, that is enough, or that is all the news stories that I have for today. If you like my content, please be sure to like and subscribe. And I will see you all later. And everyone, I hope you all have a good weekend and take care. Thanks.